One moral point of view that you think it's not moral to...
Well, how do you morally justify it? How do you morally justify...
Very easily.
Go on then.
Okay, I produce the animals that I eat.
Yep.
I look after them to the best of my ability.
Yep.
They're produced on my own farm.
Yep.
I see them when they're born. I look after them.
Yep.
I spend all day and all night looking after
Yep.
them. And so, morally,
Yep.
I feel I'm justified to then
But
eat them.
what about morally? But why?
People have eaten meat for millions
But
of
we've
years.
also murdered and raped each other for millions of years. It doesn't make, just because we've done something for a long period of time doesn't make it moral today.
Strangely enough, I've never done that.
Morally, what's the difference between taking the life of a dog and taking the life of a cow for food? It's both. Because in China they eat dogs, don't they? And morally, is that different or is it the same?
Well, if they want to eat dog, I wouldn't want to eat it.
No, why wouldn't you want to eat it?
Oh, eat a package pack.
Yeah, they're lovely animals.
Yeah.
They love us, right?
Yeah.
But don't you think these animals can show love and affection too? What moral justification would you use to slaughter, like, the lives of these cows? Like, how do you morally justify that?
Well, I'm a Christian, and it's in the Bible to eat meat.
But in the Garden of Eden, what did Adam and Eve eat?
Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, they were vegan in the Garden of Eden. I think that the reality is with religion is God has neither said that we have to or don't have to,
Okay,
and it becomes like a choice between the two of us.
Exactly. So,
So
it's a choice.
it becomes almost irrelevant about God because again it becomes personal, and again the question is what moral justification do we use? Obviously when the Bible was written we probably had to live, now we don't. So I think in the eyes of God, this is my personal opinion, in the eyes of God, because we had the option between not killing his creatures or killing his creatures, morally he would prefer if we didn't.
There are also massive...
I spend my life looking after animals, you people don't. So don't
I spend my life trying to stop animals from being killed.
No, you don't.
You send them to slaughter, man. You may look after them now, but ultimately you sell them to be killed.
You don't spend your life. You don't get up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mate, I don't eat the animals, which means they don't die in the first place. You're the one sending them to slaughter.
You don't spend your life looking after animals, so don't preach to me.
You don't look after them. You use them until they're profitable for you, and then you sell them to be killed.
No, that's not how it works.
But you're making money off them. You sell them to make money. So how does it work? Tell me. You love these animals, and then what? You love them when
these animals,
so
when they go, they go.
And so you love animals, but you sell them to be killed. How do you love them? If you love your dog, man, but you wouldn't send your dog to be killed.
Because I don't even own a shotgun. I don't go shooting. I don't like killing animals.
But you sell them to be killed.
Oh, you got your point, and I've got mine.
What about the animals? What's their preference is to live, right? So who are we to deny them that?
I ain't got an argument for that.
Yeah, I mean, as a human being, like as a species and also as an individual, what right do you have to take the life of a living being that doesn't want to die? All you have to do is see the animals as victims, and you understand why it becomes an immoral act to kill them.
You're seeing them as a victim. I'm not.
Yeah. But why are they not victims in your eyes? They think and feel, right? They feel pain. They have an inherent preference to live their life like you and I do.
I don't inflict pain on them.
No, but they die. They suffer and die, and they don't want to. So even if they live a lovely life, they still die.
In the most humane way.
Well, what does the word humane mean? What does the word humane mean to you, as an objective definition?
Well, not having pain.
Or it's compassion and benevolence. But how do we compassionately kill an animal that doesn't want to die for an unnecessary reason?
Well, yeah, but you've taken that argument to a point where I can't argue against that.
Because it's objective,
no, but
though.
I can't argue it saying,
Exactly.
oh, that animal doesn't want to die.
Exactly.
Because I am nowhere near that point that you're coming from to be able to argue.
But objectively speaking, we know that these animals have a preference to live their life.
At the end of the day, it's everybody's own conviction.
But at the end of the day, when there's a victim, like if I want to bet on dog fighting, that's my personal choice. It doesn't make it moral just because I want to throw a couple of quid down on dog fighting, does it?
But no, that's everybody's got their own judgments, haven't they?
But then, if morality is totally subjective, then surely rape and murder and theft and mugging and arson are totally moral because everyone has their own personal convictions. There was a necessity for us to eat meat that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, there is for me because I like eating meat.
But the enjoyment of it doesn't make it moral. Like people enjoy betting on dog fighting and all sorts. That doesn't make it moral, though, does
No,
it?
it doesn't, no.
Exactly. So we require more than sensory pleasure to morally justify something. They feel, don't they? And they feel pain.
Of course they do, yeah.
Yeah. So why is it our right to inflict suffering and ultimately death on them if they don't want to feel that? I presume you've been raised in a generation thing, and it's probably what you've been taught to do by your family, and that's fine. I don't think you're a bad person for it. Yeah, but you can't kill animals if you love. You can't kill them if you love them. That's the only thing, right?
Well,
you can't kill them if you love them.
Have you ever heard of euthanasia?
Yeah, but that's only because they have to die because they're suffering and in pain. These animals aren't suffering or in pain, and they don't want to die.
Yeah, you're very good at arguing, but seriously.
I'm just trying to put forward an objective reasoning. Or you have to acknowledge that non-human animals, their worth of life is higher than the sensory pleasure we get from taste alone. That's all we have to acknowledge. And if we can establish that the life of a sheep is worth more than our taste buds, then that's why it becomes morally disingenuous to eat them.